Okay, so have you ever, really needed a graphic, right now, a super important infographic, but the thought of finding someone on one of those freelancer sites, it's just too much.
Yeah, I think everyone listening has been there. Deadlines don't mess around.
Exactly. And that's what makes this deep dive so interesting. We're looking at DHOR today. They've got this new clients booking app, and it could be huge, especially for creative work.
See, what's interesting right away is who DHOR is. They made their name in a super specific world, science and tech.
Yeah.
And now they're taking that and jumping into creative services. It's kind of a big deal.
It's like instead of just connecting those two worlds, they're figuring out a whole new way they can work together.
Exactly. And that's where this app comes in. Imagine, no more endless emails, no more hoping someone gets your visions. Boom, instant connection with a designer who speaks tech just as well as they speak, design.
Okay, now that is intriguing. But how does it actually work, this whole booking thing?
So picture this. It's like ordering food, but for your creative needs. DHOR's app, it's like a menu. Graphic design, video editing, even animation. You see what you need, click it, pick a time that works for you, and that's it. DHOR handles the rest. They make sure someone who knows their stuff, Andy, your project, is ready when you are.
Hang on. Are they really saying they can do quality work that fast? Because usually when you try to rush creative stuff, it's,
Right, it's a trade-off. And that's a really good point because it seems like DHOR knows that. They keep talking about how experienced their team is. These aren't just any freelancers. These are people who get both the creative side and the technical side.
So they're kind of like matchmakers then, but instead of romance, it's for awesome graphics and videos.
Yeah, exactly. And this is where that whole science and tech background they've got could be really powerful. Think about it. Let's say you've got a biotech startup, right? And you're trying to explain some complicated process, but you need to do it visually.
I feel like we've all been there.
Right. So instead of spending who knows how long just trying to get a designer up to speed, DHOR could be okay, we've got someone who speaks fluent science, understands the visuals, maybe even knows the research. Done. That could save everyone so much time.
It's true. Sometimes just explaining what you need is half the battle. So it's time is money, but for the creative process itself.
Totally. And speaking of time, there's something else kind of interesting about how they're launching this thing. They're not going the usual app store route.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's a direct download, which is kind of a power move these days when everyone and their mom has an app. What do you make of that?
Well, it's definitely not the usual way to do things.
Yeah.
But it could be super smart, honestly, because by skipping the app stores, DHOR has way more control.
Interesting.
They can get feedback directly, make changes as they need to, even fix any problems before it goes out to everyone.
So it's like a soft opening for a restaurant. Work at the King's before the big rush.
Exactly. And it tells me they're really focused on making sure people have a good experience, maybe even a more personalized one, because they're dealing with people one-on-one.
And you know what? Now that you mention it, that makes their focus on quality even more interesting. It's like they're saying, hey, we know what we're doing, we believe in our team, we're going to build that trust directly, and then we'll go big.
And that confidence, it could be about more than just how they run things. Remember we were talking about those hints they dropped about their animation?
Oh yeah, there was something about being cutting edge.
Right. It's they almost can't help but brag about it just a little. And it keeps coming up, how DHOR is using science and tech to push those creative boundaries.
Okay, enough teasing. What are we talking about here? Pixar level stuff, spill the tea.
Well, they're not giving away all their secrets, but there's definitely a theme here of going beyond the expected. They've said they're bringing that whole science and tech mindset into the creative process, which could mean anything, really.
Yeah. Okay, I'm really curious now. What does that even look like?
Right. I mean, are we talking super accurate 3D stuff?
Yeah.
Animations that learn as they go thanks to AI? Who knows? But it's exciting to think about.
So it's not just someone threw together a quick explainer video. This could be some next level stuff, especially for people who need to explain complicated ideas, but make it, look cool.
Right. And that's what makes this app so interesting. It could totally change who has access to this kind of high-end creative work. Imagine a small company, right? Suddenly, they can have animation that looks just as good as something a huge corporation would spend a fortune on.
It's like everyone's playing in the same league now, which is cool. But, okay, I have to ask, can they really have it all? The quality, the speed, the pricing, how does that even work?
That's the big question, isn't it? Only time will tell how DHOR is going to make that happen, keep the quality up, but also make it affordable and fast. We'll see what gives there.
It's a tough balancing act, for sure. And it kind of gets at something people have been talking about for a while now, in the creative world, I mean. That whole tech versus, like, human creativity thing.
Yeah, it's like, this app is a perfect example of that whole debate. You know, is tech going to make human creativity even better? Or are we going to end up with everything looking the same? All polished, but kind of soulless.
Right, like, is the algorithm going to take over? No more human inspiration, just something predictable, efficient, but maybe not very interesting.
And that's something we have to be careful about, right? As we figure out how to use all this new tech in creative ways, DHOR's app, it's making us ask these really important questions. How do we use these tools, these advancements, but keep what makes creative work meaningful?
There's that human element again, the thing no computer can really copy. Well, we've covered a lot today, but if nothing else, this DHOR thing is definitely getting people talking, which is always good.
It is. Who knows? Maybe it'll change everything about how we think about creative work. If you're curious, by the way, we've got the link to download the app. It's in the episode description.
Yeah, check it out. Let us know what you think. We love a good debate, especially about the future of all this. Until next time, stay creative, everyone.